Hey, this is Allie Edwards, and in this video I am going to give you a walkthrough of my completed 2019 Project Life album. As many of you guys may have remembered, or as you may remember, for 2019 I decided to do this project monthly. In prior years I've always done it weekly, and I have never finished a weekly Project Life within the next couple months of the year, ever. I'm still working on 2018 weekly Project Life right now, so it's super satisfying to have a 2019 album finished, and I was able to fit it all in one 9x12 album. 9x12 is the size that we have available in my shop. We have the albums, we have page protectors, and I'm going to give you a walkthrough of what I did last year. And I think every month except for one of these has individual process videos on YouTube, so you can check those out, as well as blog posts on my blog. So 2019, the products that I mainly used for this were Stories by the Month kits, which are one of the kit options, the monthly kit options that we have. So this was my title page, and then we moved into January. Now, a big difference for me in doing this monthly was when I used to do weekly Project Life, I used the same page protectors the entire time, which are the Design A page protectors. And one of the decisions that I made for doing this monthly was that I was not going to use necessarily the same ones each time. And so you'll see that I used a combination of them. A lot of the 3x3 ended up being used, and some of the 3x4s, and then I almost always have an insert. So what I tried to do was have a spread, right? Like here's the spread, one view there with some kind of an insert for each month. And I think that that's pretty much what I ended up having. Some months have a couple more inserts than others. But heavier focus on the photos. Some months I had more journaling, some months I had less. I was totally fine with all of that. Like none of that bothered me one way or the other. And you can see as we flip through. Did an interview question with everybody in January, so that was pretty fun. These were a digital card that was printed out for each one of them, and then I just typed in what everybody's answers were. February, one of the big stories, or in February actually, was the month where I started kind of identifying 3 stories per month that I was going to tell. So this is a good example where I had more. I used number stickers to for a variety of different feet photos, and then when you come over here you can see what each one of the numbers were about. So last year we spent some time in Disneyland, and we also had a bunch of snow here as well. So that was Anna and Audrey's 10th birthday adventure. This is also still February. So February ended up having 2 spreads. One that's kind of Disney focused, and then one that was really focused on the snow and then details from February. I loved including 3x8s. Like that's a super easy way to add a story in, especially if you want the rest of the focus to be more on the photos. So these are also available in my shop. Simple, easy way to include stories. March was a variety of different things. Mainly it was work and travel for me. You can see I used label stickers on top of a lot of my photos to give a little bit more detail. I included a larger pocket here. This was from the travel story kit, one of the years that included the kit. Aaron and I flew to San Francisco and saw Hamilton, so I put that in there. I also included a 6x8 that added a little more information about our trip to San Francisco, but simple, right? It doesn't always have to be super complex. And then I also added in a enlarged photo of Aaron and I with journaling about our trip, printed directly with the photo at the same time the photo was printed. Also, March looks like it does have a little bit more too, another spread because it was spring break. So San Francisco, we did that. Then we headed to Hawaii with all the kids. We have the kids every other spring break, and so 2019 was the year to have them. So enlarged photo paired with a few different things. We stayed at the Hilton Hawaiian Village in Oahu, so I added that in there. I added a photo from dinner that we had one night, and there's like a crazy picture, a nice version and then the crazier version. And then went back to the 3x3 pockets and created little journaling cards for some pieces of the story, as well as adding in a bunch of the 3x3 photos. Moving into April, around here, this is April. April is flower explosion. And I love that time of year. So obviously you can see lots of flower photos. I added in a 6x8 with one of the journal cards, a couple other additional cards here. Typed, this is typed on the computer. Just another simple journal card. And then this is a 8.5 by 11 that I added in with a photo of our house. Again, everything is in bloom. One more trip, I had a trip to Austin, Texas, and so I added in one picture for that. And then a lot more pictures, right? There's just the explosion of everything around here. And so that was a nice way to document April. Moving into May, actually, let's see. Yep, this is May. So it says this is May right there. Again, adding on some label stickers. Sometimes I stamped this is May on a few of them. Aaron and I went up to a Blazer game, so I've got that in here along with a couple other things. Simon, an Honor Society induction. I think the other thing is just a drawing that probably Anna did. From Mother's Day. So being able to include stuff like this has long been important to me, and I tried to remember to do that in here as well when I received things. So then in the case of this one, the spread, if you see here for May, is essentially 2 sheets with the 3x3 pockets. So not a lot of written storytelling in this one, and I'm totally fine with that because I feel like it's the sum of all the parts. And I did add just a little bit of detail, like this is from the Honor Society ceremony, and Simon had a Star Wars party at school and the farmer's market, stuff like that. So then we move into June. Again, working off the back, then I'm starting with the 3x3. So each month I just started with the back of the previous month, and then went ahead and decided what I wanted for the rest of it. So for this one, I decided to just include a couple 6x8 inserts here. So just wanting to play, right? Wanting to add in some color and some transparency. Going into June, a picture of Simon's last day of school as a junior. And then a fun picture of Anna on our new trampoline. So I love the idea, and you can see here, like I have 4 different inserts, right, in June. So I have my, kind of my big thing of photos. In this case, I just did a piece of pattern paper for the second page. Any of these pictures, could have been enlarged and put on here, but I kind of liked playing with this just as something to break it up, I think, a little bit too. So that was June. Then we move into July. Again, any opportunity to do full page photos, I'm always down with that. So 4th of July, kids outside on the porch, lots of stuff from 4th of July. Specifically, Katie had her baby, so we have a picture of all the kids and the baby. Simon was in a Boy Scout parade with the Boy Scouts. More flowers, more garden stuff, and lots of hiking. So July was when we did lots of hiking, and I think August is the month where then I ended up hurting my foot. So documenting, what do I love about July and what do I not love about July? I don't love watering the plants. And then I moved into August, and for August I used this, one of the journal cards said August is, and I ended up using that repeated throughout the whole thing, using pairing it with pictures to tell the story of each one of those pictures. This was the month where I sprained my ankle. So these are all inserts, again, and looking for opportunities to document lots of different things. Got Simon there. I think I'm actually gonna use another picture like this for another upcoming story kit, and this one too. I thought I probably used these before. I just printed out another version of both of these pictures, but I will tell a different story with them. Then this is a story kit envelope, an older story kit envelope, and I used that for tickets. When Aaron and I went and saw Dave Matthews, I didn't do a whole Dave Matthews story. I've told this story lots of times before. We go every year for Labor Day, or every year that we can for Labor Day, and it was good enough just to include a little bit from that adventure. September is often back to school, so for September I ended up with the 3x4 cards here. I used the detailed stamp on top of some small labels. I actually cut those out of a journaling card. Included a picture of everybody and what grade they were starting this year, and then a story about September and what is September like around here. Picture of Simon and Anna out by the trampoline, kind of moving into fall. This is October. I think this might be my favorite one when I look back at all of them. And why do you think it's my favorite one? Well, compared to all the other ones, there's actually, there's a lot of words in a lot of them, but this one seems like it has more words. So big journaling, or longer journaling on the big photo. And then for each of the photos that I included here, I did some journaling as well. So this one definitely took a little bit more time in terms of typing something out for each one of the photos, but I love how it looks. Like, I also love the colors, which were the colors from the kit, paired with the photos and the different stories from October. A lot of these also, now that I'm remembering it, and you can hear me talk more about this again in the or on the YouTube, or on the October YouTube video, is that they're from Instagram, right? So lots of these stories were shared on Instagram, and I was able to copy and paste many of them onto these 3x3 backgrounds before I printed them out. So I love how that one turned out specifically. It's very clean, it's very organized, there's resting spaces from the photos, the color, there's lots of things that I like about it. And that's one of the things that I usually encourage in my workshops, in my classes too, is to look back at the projects that you've done and identify, like, what were the things that you loved about them or disliked about them. When I look back at this, I don't necessarily love that yellow. I'm fine with it. It's gonna be fun. I probably would have liked it better if it was white. But this one, there's a lot, I like all of them for different reasons. The flower one I just like because it's lots of flowers. But this one, from a storytelling perspective, I think this is probably the most effective. I don't know that I want to do it every month though, so I'm okay with having a balance between all of it. So then moving into November, this is one I actually just did last week. 3x3 photos. This is on the outside of the page protector. This is a transparency that has a leaf that was from our Thanksgiving celebration with some cork leaves on top, just as a fun overlay added in. Added in one 6x8 page protector with a couple birthday cards, a little bit of journaling, one of the quote cards from the November kit, and this is also from the November kit, all of this stuff as well. And then December. So as many of you guys know, I do a major project in December that's called December Daily, and that takes up time and energy, and most of my stories get told in there. So this was a fun way to kind of approach this. I will absolutely say that I love this much better than trying to do 4 weeks in Project Life for December when I've already done December Daily. I know there are some people out there that just don't do December in their Project Life album because they do December Daily, or they do some like a modified December Daily within Project Life. So obviously it's always going to be up to you, but I like how this one turned out. So I just did one insert here. That's a 6x12, again, obviously enlarged photo, that then rolls into this 3x4. I did a little shaker pocket. Just definitely feeling the desire to mix things up a little bit, have a little bit more texture stitched across here too, because I ended up adding in some more of these stars here. And then I did end this, went ahead onto the back and added in other pictures as well. So this is probably the most completed larger album that I've done in a long time. I love how it turned out. It makes me super happy. I will definitely be doing 9x12 again this year, like I said. Now that I've finished 2019, I can move on to 2020, and I'll be sharing that with you here on my blog and on YouTube as well. Let me know if you have any questions about this project. Again, on my YouTube channel, you can find the other videos for past Project Life process videos, and then they're on my blog as well. Thanks so much, and I hope you guys have a great night.